Hi guys, welcome to today's video. So today we're going up against the bots, and since the patch, which was in line with the Siege Breakers Warbond, since the patch came in, Arrowhead have increased the difficulties apparently of level 9 and 10, and according to the video they've increased that across the board, so for all factions, but in their patch video they did say that would be most notable against the bots. So we're dropping in today, and this is the kind of 4th or 5th time I've played against the bots solo since that patch, and I can attest it has become extremely difficult. This is one of the most difficult missions I've ever played against the bots. So we'll get into it and you guys can see for yourselves. So one of the changes, and I don't think this is intentional, but one of the changes at the moment is that when you hit a reinforced Strider's rocket, that no longer one taps the reinforced Strider. It wasn't always the case that it would one tap that, but the rocket would explode and it would, 8 times out of 10 it would kill it, I think. But now it doesn't kill it at all, and I don't know whether that's something that only happens on levels 9 and 10. Maybe they're trying to, that's one of the ways they've tried to make things difficult for us, I don't know. But it's certainly very annoying, to say the least. Okay, so we're just taking out the fortress first, as you can see, and as you can probably tell, I'm recording this video, I'm recording the audio for the video after I played. I do try to play and talk at the same time, but I think that's going to be a thing that's going to happen less and less because of the difficulty of the Automatons now. I was really thrown when I dropped into a solo mission the day of the day of the patch. They really are like a whole nother level now. As you're all probably aware, their accuracy is much better now, and not only that, you get more patrols, and there tends to be a few more enemies in patrols as well at times. So yeah, because I am not guaranteed to one-tap the rockets on these reinforced Striders anymore, I now bring the big iron, which, sometimes I bring the big iron anyway, but now I'm bringing the big iron specifically to hit those guys in the Jawndals and take them out quick. The other tactic you can do is you can blow up the rocket on the side of it, which won't kill it, but it will make the leg on the side of the rocket that you blow up, it will make the leg weaker, so then you can shoot the leg. But again, that's not always consistent either, I've noticed. I did try that a couple of times. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so you can see here already, like, the amount of bots coming in. It's kind of like a bug mission now, where you don't get 2 seconds to even think to yourself, whereas before you would probably do the Loadout, you clear out a few of the enemies around the Loadout, and then you'd probably be kind of allowed to get on with this side objective, pretty quietly, I guess. And as you can see there, I had a patrol coming in that kind of stopped me doing that, and then there's another patrol coming in. So yeah, you really do have to kind of move quickly now against the bots, from what I've experienced so far. The other thing I've noticed is that they give you more outposts to destroy as well. There's usually a few smaller ones. So for instance, that one was just a one fab outpost. I forgot to change my Dynamite back to 5 seconds there, which happens all too often for myself, unfortunately. So caught out there. Managed to change it back then, but it's kind of a bit too late at that point. So with regards to the bot drops, I don't think they're much different. You might get 3 ships instead of 2. But they're pretty manageable still, for the most part. Okay, so those dynamite are about to go off. Yeah, so as you're going around the map on solo against the bots on level 10, and I'm assuming it's probably level 9 as well to some degree, you really don't get time to think. I don't know why you're bouncing up and down there. You really don't get time to think. It's like just hit and move. So as you see, there's a patrol of 3 Hulks there. No idea why there's a patrol of 3 Hulks. That is insane to me. And yeah, as I said, I have tried this a few times yesterday and today, noticing how difficult it was compared to before. And I had not completed a full mission up until this point. So I want to just get moving as quickly as possible. Okay, time for a resupply.
Cancel that.
So I want to take out fabs from a distance still, as many as possible, just so I can then resupply, because the resupply is right next to me. Take my time lining up the shop. Okay, so we'll fill up with our supplies. Couldn't see any more fabs over there, so on we move. And then you can see there's a dog there. So I bring down the silo. So the reason I bring down the silo, the reason I brought the silo to the mission was because when I played the 4 or 5 missions before, you know, since the update, I've noticed there's a lot more dogs involved. There's a dog at most outposts. So again, I think this is probably down to arrowheads increasing the difficulty. You know, more dogs, more outposts, more patrols. So that is why the solo silo is in my loadout today. Simply to deal with the sheer number of dogs that come in. So loadout wise, I've got the solo silo, I can't ever say it. I've got the solo silo. I've got the Recoilless Rifle, as you could tell already. And I've got the Strafing Run, and I've got the Rocket Sentry. Making a meal of this, so throw down the Dynamite. Hopefully that takes him out. Get some goodies. Not going to worry about the the high priority, so not high priority. Not going to worry about the medal or whatever the hell was in that escape pod thing. As I said before, I was really struggling with time. Didn't even manage, as I said, didn't even manage to finish the missions I played up until this point. So I don't want to stand and wait for a little pod to open. Just want to get things moving. So I have noticed that the shield devastators, their bodies are a bit weaker. So you can take the bodies out in a few hits now. But obviously that one tap to the eye is always quicker and always extremely satisfying. Okay, so hell bomb activated. Obviously someone shot it. Yeah, as I said, their accuracy is a lot higher now. A lot better.
Ready to liberate.
And weapons wise, I've got the regular Diligence. I've got the Senator for the secondary. And the Dynamite for the grenades. And I'll put all the information in the video description. And I also have the engineering kit passive for the armor, which gives me the extra 2 grenades, which, you know, against the bots, I always, you know, 9 times out of 10 I'll take this armor. Okay, so the solo silo, almost got it right the first time then. The solo silo I just launch at the jammer because I want to just clear out anything that's on there before I get there, or that's the idea at least. And normally I might not do that, but because there are 2 jammers on the map, which I've found out because I've already got the LiDAR. Because I've got 2 jammers on the map, I just want to make sure I can get those done quickly. So by launching the silo at 1, that may give me a better chance of getting over there. Hopefully, you know, the fabricator's gone. Hopefully some enemies are gone. Who knows? But yeah, that was the plan at least. So yeah, as I said, more patrols. Bot drop coming in. So just the 2 ships on that one. So yeah, because you can't one tap the rocket striders to the rocket anymore, I was, you know, it's a big change, I think, and it makes it incredibly difficult because although they've reduced the sway on the pistols now, getting two or three shots off at the jaundals for those guys when you've got other enemies around trying to shoot you is not always the easiest thing to do. I've also noticed that the shield devastators now actually shoot and move a lot more than they used to, whereas before they used to kind of what do? They kind of stop when they were shooting. It would kind of give you a little bit of a window. It would kind of give you a little bit of a window to take a few shots at their heads. But that seems to be no longer the case, at least on level 10. So yeah, quite a few changes. And I would say now that the bots are probably as difficult, or almost as difficult as the bugs. The main difference is that you don't get the respawning on the bots, you know, like you do with the Alpha Commanders. That is that is their saving grace, I guess you'd call it. seem to be slow here. I don't know. It just feels like I'm running really slow here. I'm not sure if I actually am. I get that a couple of times during the game where I just feel slow. Look at the in Sound Command and Conquer. I know there's a fair few of them, to be fair. But yeah, they just instantly shredded me. No shield devastators. They were rough. They were rough in the past. They're even worse now. Okay, and also to increase the difficulty, they've actually changed the way some of the missions work slightly. So this one you used to just bring down the SSSD card and plunk it into that portal or whatever you want to call it. But now you actually have to click on it, and it's a very simple procedure. You just click the portal itself. It says you have to unlock some sort of code or something, but it literally is just a case of clicking on it. And then only once it does this little whirr, then you can bring down the SSSD, as so. Oh, Rocket Sentry absolutely taking me to town instead of the bots. Got a bit lucky there with no one actually falling in a drop. Maybe it's just not time. So I'll let the Rocket Sentry hopefully deal with them. Okay, and this is the other difference. So this now becomes a bit of a puzzle, which I think is really, really fun. Quite unique compared to how it used to be before. So it is similar to the other puzzles you get, but obviously it's more of a code-based thing rather than lining up, lining up the tubes on the oil ones, on the oil missions. So it's still a 5-step process, I think. I think it was always a 5-step process, but a couple of the processes take a little bit longer. So yeah, another increase to difficulty on the bot mission there. But again, as I said, I thought that was a pretty good one. Luckily, I don't die there. And this is where things start to get a little bit insane. Like, I've got patrols behind me, patrols on the wall. The bots are insanely accurate. So you really just have to make use of all of your stratagems as much as you can. Like, make good use of them, I guess is the word. Now, I do have the free orbital 380 at the minute, because that's what's going on with the major order or whatever. But I do not make use of it in this video because I wanted to see just what I would be up against on a regular mission. I didn't want to kind of, not cheat, but yeah, give myself a fair test. So I actually shoot the silo at the second jammer here. Blech. And I'm hoping that that will do the same damage as what I was hoping that the first one would do. So I'll just wait for the supplies to come in. Another patrol in front. Yeah, I don't think it's quite as rough as the bugs can be. I guess it's rougher in different ways. But you do get a few seconds here and there to kind of get your supplies down, and there's not a whole heap of bots sitting next to your supplies like you would have on the bugs. If you play the bugs solo, you literally don't get a second to yourself. Okay, so we're moving on the jammer. just see if there's anyone around. So either there was no one around in the first place, which does happen on the jammer sometimes, especially when there's 2 on one map, or the silo did its job. I'm going to believe that the silo did its job and that I'm a tactical genius. Obviously everyone agrees with that. Okay, so the other jammer is pretty close by. So I can see a couple of dudes there. So I think that was a deflection on that one. Or maybe there wasn't anyone there in the first place. I couldn't quite tell. But yeah, not really far enough away to bring in the Hellbomb at this point. So we mosey on over to the other jammer. And as I said, hopefully my tactical genius has worked on this one as well. But arriving there, we can see it definitely has not. Still bots around.
Bag's empty.
Out of ammo. Need to reload. There's a drop coming in. So I just get some dynamite out. Take that ship out, and then I notice a dog, so I immediately start running hell for leather. Because you do not want to be out in the open when there's a dog involved. It is not the best of times. It is the worst of times. Okay, so at this point I need to get some distance and get to a point where I can start bringing stuff in. As I said, this is why I brought down the solo silo. Activate that. But it doesn't seem to activate, which I'm not entirely sure why. Take out the dog's turret immediately. That's going to do me a bit of a favour. Check the map, because I don't want to be running into any patrols or what do you call it, a point of interest where there's a couple of hulks, obviously. So I've got the silo down. Let's get this thing on the dog. Not fussed about the ragdoll. Get him out of the game ASAP. So there's more bots over that way, so I'm going to eagle that way. Haven't even reloaded my diligence at that point. That's how much crazy shit's going on right now. So resupply down. Yeah, I mean, there's probably only a handful of bots left and right. But because of the... Oh, look at that. Because of the increased accuracy, now it just feels even worse. So we'll restock with everything. The dog's out of commission, which is great news. Tempted to go to the right there or to the east and deal with that probably one fab outpost, but actually show good constraint and just deal with what's in front of me. Luckily he's, you know, caught up in his own little world, probably having a bot existential crisis of some descript. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I don't know what this circling thing is, but that's a new thing that the shield devastators seem to be doing at the minute. Is they'll just shoot in a circle and you can't get the headshot. So a few bots in here, take him up by the foot. A few more to the right again. So because I can't one-shot the rocket anymore, just throw dynamite at them because I want to be moving to this point and then setting up a little kind of defensive area here. Oi! I might beef it here. No, got lucky. So dynamite out there. Hopefully that deals with those two. Headshot for that guy. So I think this is probably the only time I've managed to deal with two jammers quite quite well on the same map. Normally if I get two jammers it's kind of GG's. Yeah, hell bomb down for this one, and then we can go and deal with the other one. I see that's the one fab outpost over there. So get that out of commission. Throw a rocket sentry in that direction as well. So anything that has been aggroed will aggro onto the rocket sentry and not me. And then obviously we need to go back to the other jammer and get that one sorted as well. We'll get some ammo boxes or an ammo box. And then I'll just tag that for where I want to be going next. And I saw a dog over there, so I'm getting the silo out. Which was a bit of a mistake, to be honest. Because I think it alerted those guys, or perhaps they were on their way anyway. Yeah, I mean, this becomes a bit of an issue. Lots of accuracy and ragdolling. I mean, the ragdolling is not too bad. I've experienced worse, but when you get like 4 or 5 of the bots on you, it does get rough with the accuracy now. So get some supplies down here, because I'm down to 1 stim. Get a little bit of a defensive unit going on. Well, not unit, but a defensive, you know, place where I can defend. Throw some strafing runs down like an alley kind of way down there. Just kind of help, you know, help myself as much as I can against the drop. So yeah, I mean, those rocket striders, the reinforced rocket striders, in the fact that you can't shoot them from this distance anymore because the rockets won't explode. I guess the other thing you could do is probably maybe the Diligence counter sniper would be better until they fix that, if they are going to fix that. Thought I threw a strafing run out there. I'm not sure why that didn't work. Getting absolutely annihilated here, as you can see. I think there's only a few bots about, but they are going to town on me. Ah, it's because the anti-air emplacement's over there. Okay. Okay, so rocket sentry down. It's a solo, so I couldn't see the dog at this point in this outpost. But when I come around this corner, if memory serves, is it this one? Oh no, maybe he just wasn't there. Maybe I saw him and he was in a different outpost. So I've obviously made the mistake of leaving my Recoilless Rifle there, because there are hogs in here. But my plan here is to just launch some dynamite on the fabs and get the fuck out of dodge. So I've got the 60-second timer on this one. So big launches. And I don't want to be hanging around. And because there's a whole heap of shit in there that's going to absolutely annihilate me if I don't get rid of it quickly, then I solo those guys for 6 kills. Head back and pick up my recoilless. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I want to get a new one in. Can't remember now. But certainly get some more supplies.
Have a taste of democracy. Dropping a pin.
Okay, so new recoilless in, and we do have the silo back off of cooldown, so that's good. I do like that they have added the yellow to the insides of those hell pods, the equipment pods. That's a nice little touch, I think. Gives it a bit more in the Helldivers theme of the black and yellow. Looks pretty cool. Okay, so how long do we have left at this point? I think it was about 10 minutes. So we've got 10 minutes left to do 3 of the main objectives, 1 anti-air emplacement, and a small outpost. So quite a lot left to do in 10 minutes. So luckily these anti-air are just 2 and I can snipe them with the recoilless. So I'll get those sniped, not hanging around to reload at that point. So there is the dog that I saw earlier. So I get a rocket sentry down here in case anything comes behind me. And I get a solo silo down here, which is a bit of a mistake because those guys are coming up the way. And I've got another patrol coming behind me. So, I mean, that there is a patrol. The other guys are just 3 random bots. Just, no, 4 random bots. Sorry, another patrol to the left there. So maybe more than... So maybe there's a few patrols. So, yeah, this is like what I was saying earlier. Similar to the bugs, you just don't get a second to breathe at times. So, silo the dog. Luckily, the rocket sentry has taken care of that stuff. Switch my dynamite back out of the 60 to the 5 seconds. Get a little bit of cover while I reload. Take a big hit from the Hulk. So a bit of left and right movement there. Serpentine, serpentine. It sometimes works. So yeah, I mean, at times you just don't even get time to reload. So that was an outpost right at the end there. Just a 1 fab outpost. This was another big mistake. Forgot those guys were all rushing in there. I might beef it here again, to be honest. Do a little dance across the wall. Not sure what I thought was going to happen there. Managed to take some cover behind here. Some dynamite out for those guys. But yeah, if you get 3 or 4 shield devastators on you, I mean, as you guys just saw there, they're just incessantly firing at you. Okay, so haven't done too badly there. Another rocket to the face. Two rocket guys out there. Probably could try and snipe them out. I just want to get moving because I know there's other stuff coming in behind me. I think the thing with these changes is that it's going to make you rely on your stratagems and your sentries and stuff a lot more, and your dynamite or whatever grenades you like to bring. I think, you know, I'm using the Diligence a lot less than I would normally. Not that I use it like loads, but I do like to, you know, play the game where you kind of do a bit of shooting and a bit of strafing runs and whatnot. But yeah, this seems to be like it might be kind of out of favour at the minute. The gunplay is going to be relied on less so, and the as I said, like the stratagems are going to be more heavily relied on. But we'll see. This is the first mission I've completed since the new patch and since the difficulty increases. So I'm still getting used to the difficulty increase, and you know, with difficulty increases, and you know, even with any kind of regular change to enemies, then it does make you think about the game more. It does make you change up your gameplay. It makes you think of bringing different stratagems. So as I said, like I needed to bring the solo silo, can't say it ever. I needed to bring the solo silo on this mission because it was an absolute must for the dogs. Okay, so I picked up some supplies there. Tagged another bunch of supplies because I want to run and stim because it seems like I've got about 5.5 minutes left, I think, to complete the entire mission.
Dropping a pin.
left. We can't stay this low much longer, Helldiver.
Okay, got 2 boxes there, so I'm going to stim, obviously, and take both, so I'm full on everything, I believe. So the reason I chose to do this main objective first, the destroy the airbase control tower, and not destroy the dropships, is because this one's going to be easier. The destroy the dropships, sorry, this one's going to be harder. The destroy the dropships is a little bit easier. You can just fire stuff and throw dynamite at it, and you know, take it out pretty easily. So I was kind of hoping if I could get this one done, and before the time is over, then I'll be able to hopefully finish off with the dropships, you know, a lot easier than I would if it was the other way around. Okay. Take that turret out before he absolutely obliterates me. Strafing Run in there. Take out the whole Dynamite out. Reload. And the Strafing Run. Obliterated by, I think, another turret that I didn't realise was there.
Reinforcements have been launched.
So, Dynamite out for him. New Recoilless down. Yeah, I really hope that it's just a glitch, that the reinforced striders... I think that was a hell bomb. I really hope it's a glitch that you can't one-tap the reinforced striders to the rockets now, and it's not just a level 9-10 thing, because if that is the case, it doesn't reward accuracy. Like, you can be accurate, or you used to be able to be accurate and you would get rewarded for your accuracy, because, you know, you'd be able to hit the rockets, it would explode it 9 times out of 10, and, you know, that meant that, okay, you've destroyed that enemy, you can move on. Whereas now it's like you have to bring a different weapon. Yeah, for me that's not a good change.
Sending down support weapon.
Mag's empty. How about a nice cup of liver tea?
Okay, so we bring this solo silo. I think I actually said it right there. We bring the solo silo down, but die in the process. Nowhere to run there.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Because there was a drop and I wanted to make sure that I had the silo down if there was a dog about, which there was, so luckily I did do that. So took both his arms off, luckily. I think I got very lucky there. So again, switch to the big iron to deal with this guy. And the sway is a little better. They've reduced it. I think it was from like something like 1.2 down to 1. So there still is some sway there, but you know, I still think it's pretty hard to hit those shots. Okay, so again, this is a case of we have to press the button and do a few things before we can bring in the SSSD. Fair enough. A few extra seconds, not really going to harm anyone. So resupply down, looking for my Recoilless Rifle. For whatever reason, the backpack's landed on the floor outside. Fantastic news. I just brought a new one down as well, so no chance of bringing in a new one. Pop that in there. I do have one rocket. Luckily I landed. And then the mission time is gone. So goodbye resources. This I find is not too difficult, but like it's small. It's pretty small to see. So it can be a bit of a problem when you're panicking. You got that one done all right. So just pick up supplies. So I've got everything loaded. So
Throwing grenade.
T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds.
a few grenades out the back there, so no one comes up, or hopefully no one comes up. Okay, so that is that done, but we are out of time officially. So I run down this way because I want to pick up my recoilless backpack, obviously. And yeah, so this is why I left the destroy dropships objective to the very last.
T-minus 1 minute.
Because I've got no time left. I've got maybe 2 minutes before... before Pelican 1 lands. Don't think there's any danger of me getting on the ship at this point, let's be honest. I mean, I already know the answer, but I'm sure you guys can guess. So make sure my dynamite is switched to 5 seconds and not 60 seconds.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Stim to get some movement going. Got lucky there, could have been GG's.
T-minus 20 seconds.
Only one ship, so that was lucky. But yeah, look at how aggroed they are and how like accurate they are these days.
Warning, you are leaving.
So it says return to combat area. No chance I'm returning around that way because I was getting obliterated. So mission's over, so I don't really care at this point. Tried to get round, obviously, to not be a traitor, but yeah, who cares? Mission's over. Let's see if I can take some bots with me. The traitor detected barrage doesn't instantly destroy you like it did before. So looks like they've changed that as well, but something gets me in the end. But pretty happy with that overall. I mean, look, you can see that the outposts have increased. There's now 4 sets of outposts you need to get. 3 smaller ones, I think. A larger one, and then maybe 2 mediums, plus the fortress. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking about the increased difficulties to level 9 and 10. You know, have you noticed anything yourselves? Let's have a quick look at the numbers. So there won't be too many kills on a bot mission, but yeah. Anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. GG's.